We are the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, AM 1160, 101.1 FM, Indiana in the Morning, brought to you by First Commonwealth Bank. And joining us in studio this morning, we're going to be speaking with Lauren Phillips to tell us about International Student Scholar Advisory and the IUP Friendship Program. Lauren, good morning.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. So I'm the International Student and Scholar Advisor at IUP, and I want to talk about the International Friendship Program.
Okay.
So every year, hundreds of international students and scholars come to Indiana to study, research, or just to learn English. But a lot of them, never really step inside an American home. While they're here, there's a lot of different clubs and organizations on campus for them to, become connected to the campus community. But it's really important for international students, to become connected to the Indiana community as well. And the International Friendship Program, or IFP, allows students to connect with people off campus. So we're currently looking for new community members to join the program.
Now, do you have any idea how many different countries are represented in the student population at IUP?
So in the student population, it's quite a lot.
I didn't know
probably over 50. Is that? Yeah, about
Wow.
50, I'd say. Last year for the IFP, we had over 16 different countries represented.
Okay.
And we had over 60 students that participated.
And, of course, I would think that we have a number of faculty members as well, that they're from foreign countries.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay, tell us a little bit of history about the program. When did it get started? Any idea of how many folks you've worked with over the years?
So the IFP actually began sometime in the early 1990s. It was originally a community organization set up through local churches. And in about 2005, the Office of International Education at IUP took over management of the program. As far as how many families we've had involved over the years, it's quite a lot. We've been very fortunate with how supportive the community has been.
Okay, now is every foreign student a part of the program, or are there some that haven't become a part?
So not every foreign student joins the program. Typically the students that join are the newly arrived students. So we encourage all of the students to get involved and to learn more about Indiana while they're here.
Okay, I would think that you have some special programs set up throughout the areas of the town, or probably throughout the entire county as well, correct?
So we do try to encourage the community member families and their matches, to go out and take part in, the sporting events at IUP or different festivals that are around in the area.
Now, you talk about the community families from IUP. They spend part of the day with the students. Is that how that works?
So for community members, it's not a huge commitment. So I don't want people to think that, if they become a part of the program, that they're becoming like a host family.
Okay.
So it's not a host family situation. The students don't live with the families. But we ask that community members try to communicate with their match at least once a month. And we like it if they can meet in person, either going to an event or even just having coffee together. But we understand that sometimes life gets really busy. So, a lot of times people will keep in touch through emails. We really just want to make sure that there's constant communication so that friendship can really grow, because that's the whole point of the program is, really developing these lifelong friendships.
So I would imagine that gives the student the opportunity to see what it's like to be a family member here in Indiana. I would think enjoy some different foods, some different
absolutely.
family traditions, and the things that go on here every day that we probably take for granted.
Yeah, our students have been very fortunate. A lot of the families who participate have just been so welcoming and so great with the students. We have families who invite students to Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas dinner, and who will also celebrate, different holidays that their students celebrate. So it's a great way to exchange different cultural practices and really become a part of the community.
Now, are there some things that if you're interested in becoming a community family that you need to make sure it's done?
Yes. So if you're interested in becoming a part of the program, we do have an online application on our website, www.iup.edu/international/friendship. So it's a really easy application to fill out. We do ask that all new family members provide at least 2 references, and any new family has to participate in a training. And that's really to understand, what the scope of the program is and what the expectations are.
How close to IUP do the families need to reside? Is there a limit as to how far?
We don't really limit it. Really, if you can reasonably meet up with your student, at least once a month, that's for the best. A lot of our students, because of how long they are in the U.S., a lot of them don't get cars. So that's really important to remember that for a lot of students, they're if the families want to go someplace, like go to a Pirates game, the students might depend on the families for transportation.
So as long as the family can make it into Indiana and IUP,
yeah,
you can take care of things there. Is it usually one foreign student per family?
So we try to match at least 2 students per family.
Okay.
And we find that helps students who might be a little shy, especially, meeting new people, speaking in a language that they might not be all that used to. It really helps them to open up and feel comfortable. Now,
is it usually students from the same area, or do they get put together too?
So we try to mix it up. The way that we match students with families is, as part of the application process, we ask what their hobbies and interests are. So we really try to match people based on that. Okay. Because when you have a similar interest to someone, like if you both love fishing or if you both love traveling or cooking, that can really overcome a lot of cultural differences.
And I was thinking of the language barrier sometimes, right? If you have 2 students from different parts of the world, they have to try to connect, and then they have to try to be a part of a family here in Indiana. Now, of course, this is homecoming weekend. So do you find that you have students who took part in this program in years past come back to Indiana for homecoming at all?
I don't know how many come back for homecoming in particular, but I do know that the students who have participated in IFP in the past tend to keep close communication with their families. We've actually had some family members travel abroad to go to their students' weddings. Oh. So it's really fantastic. They really develop these lifelong connections.
Lauren Phillips is with us this morning here on Indiana in the Morning from the IUP Office of International Education. Do you find that the students have some great experiences and some interesting stories that they like to tell you after they've been part of this program?
Oh, absolutely. The students often will email us and say they've had a great time and, talk about how nice their family is, and just all the different things that they've done. I know that one of the things the students really love is when they get to participate in American holidays. Because while it's fun to do that as a student, it's a completely different feeling when you're doing it as part of a family.
Yeah, I imagine Groundhog Day would be quite an experience, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Now, do you find that some of your host families do this again after their student leaves or graduate? They say, we'd like to have another couple of students for next year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We've had, most of our families have been doing this for years and years and years. We actually this year have a returning family who was doing it back in the 90s before IUP had control of the program. So it just shows you that, this is really beneficial not only to the students but also to the community members who get the opportunity to meet people and, experience different cultures that they otherwise might never have been able to do.
I would think that it might be even more of an experience if the host family had children of their own, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have really a wide variety of host families or community member families. We have some young couples with kids. We have retired couples. Some of them are, just single people. We have some that are just like two friends that want to do this together. So really, anyone who is interested in, opening their hearts to an international student, we would encourage them to apply.
Are there any financial responsibilities of the host family at all?
Absolutely not. So there's no financial commitments that the host families would have to take on.
Okay, now, if folks want to become involved in this, what should they do?
So they should fill out the application online. Again, that's www.iup.edu/international/friendship. If you don't really feel comfortable filling out an application online, we do have a print version available on the website as well.
Now, I would just think off the top here that you're not only talking about the freshman students that come in, but you have students every year in every class that are new to the area, and they would be involved, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a lot of undergrads, but we also have a lot of graduate students who take part. And our graduate students will sometimes have families of their own. So it's really great if they can connect with an American family that also has children. And in the spring, we are actually going to be having a second program, the Fulbright Family Program, where our Fulbright scholars, who are professional teachers in their own countries, come to the U.S. to learn about the American education system. They'll be participating in a similar program. So the Fulbright Family Program is like the International Friendship Program, but much more intense. So those families would be meeting with their student about once a week.
You get faculty involved in this?
Oh, yeah.
Taking in students?
Yeah, a lot of our members are current faculty or former faculty.
Now, you mentioned there is a training program. How long of a process and what does that involve?
So the training program, it's not a huge time commitment. It's maybe an hour to go over everything. If people can't make the in-person training, then there is an online training available. The only stipulation is that they would then have to call the OIE to have a short follow-up to make sure that we go over the most important aspects of the training and to address any concerns that they have. And the OIE tries to be really supportive of families and students who are in the program. So if there's ever any questions or concerns, we always encourage them to contact us and let us know.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is what would make a great radio program would be sometime if you stop by with your host family and their student, and they could both share some experiences with us.
Yeah, I think that would be amazing.
Okay. I'll have Todd get in touch with you again and bring you back. Anything else before we run out of time that you want to pass along?
No, just if you're interested in joining the program, we would love to have you. You can fill out the application online, or if you have any questions, you can contact the OIE at 724-357-2295. All
right. Thank you very much for stopping by. Lauren Phillips from IUP's Office of International Education joining us here this morning on Indiana in the Morning.